Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The article I'm going to discuss in this video I think confirms once again that a parallel club is forming to the one that's already active under the leadership of the United States of America, and I think new dynamics, parallel institutions, parallel trade routes, parallel world. There's going to be two parallel worlds that rarely are going to intertwine. And I've been saying it for some time, and I think that's the direction it goes. And the second club, in this case, the other option to the big club and NATO, and the European Union, United States, the Western whatever, plus Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and South Korea, these guys are going to have the opposition, which are countries who do not subscribe to the first club's orders. Because the first club uses, as I said, threats, blackmail, regime change, and sometimes plain attack on whomever to bring democracy and freedom and all that. So let's get this article here, and it comes from Russia Today, and it says Russia boosts oil exports to India and China. It's Reuters right here. So this is actually from Reuters. January shipments have surged due to growing Asian demand. Now, as you know, the European Union, United States, and other weasels, as I mentioned, imposed tons of sanctions on Russia and on its energy and oil cap, seaborne oil cap, and now they want to do it on diesel. I think they agreed to put a cap of between $100 and $110 per diesel coming from Russia. That is on top of the sort of different thing with a seaborne $60 per barrel, not gallon. I say gallon, barrel. I mean, on the seaborne oil coming from Russia. Now, exports of Urals and Kazakhstan export blend crude oil KEBCO brands are expected to surge by 50% this month compared to December due to growing demand in Asia and soaring global energy prices, Reuters reported on Tuesday. So these guys in Europe shot themselves in the foot with imposing sanctions. Now they buy at a higher price, it seems like. And Russia shifts, as it said it will, it shifts its market or deliveries supply to where the demand is in Asia. And I'm going to make the case how the other club, the alternative, operates so far. So this is just the fact that Russia will focus on its countries, which is right here, India and China, part of BRICS, if you remember, yeah, and then developing countries, that little organization with South Africa, Brazil, and Russia as well. And not only, I will give you a lot of examples after I read this article to support my claim that the second club is information, and they will have parallel institutions and parallel economic connections and banking systems and communication. You'll see if Russia does not fall as intended by the guys in the West. According to the outlet's calculations and traders' data, about 70% of Ural's shipments set sail from the Baltic port of Primorsk and Ust-Luga are heading to India. The world's third biggest oil consumer has remained Russia's top importer of crude for several months, enjoying deep discounts offered by Moscow. In December, Russian exports to India surged to a 5-month high, the outlet said. China, the second biggest buyer of Russian crude as of January, had also ramped up its imports in a sign of a recovery in demand after COVID restrictions were lifted in the country. Last year, Russia substantially boosted oil deliveries to China, overtaking Saudi Arabia, the country's traditional top supplier. Crude shipments to China over the first 11 months of 2022 surged by 10.2% to reach 79.78 million tons. Oil supplies from Russia and Kazakhstan via the Baltic ports will amount to 7.1 million tons this month, representing the highest level since 2019, Reuters said, citing loading data. Some 300,000 tons of crude will be loaded on top of that to compensate for December delays when the export plan was not completed. Russia loaded 4.7 million tons of Urals and KEBCO from Baltic ports last month, according to traders and Refinitiv tracking data. Following the imposition of Western sanctions last year, Kazakhstan renamed oil it exports using Russian ports from Urals to Kazakhstan export blend crude oil to avoid the risk of becoming a target for restrictions and facing problems with financing. That's why they will probably adjust to the second club. Now, what's going on with, let me give you some examples how the second club is forming alternative connections. On the foundation of BRICS, the developing countries' little organization, those 5 countries, Brazil, India, China, Russia, South Africa, they discussed, or they will discuss, it's already planned to be discussed in the next meeting, the formation of a common currency, throwing away the US dollar. That's bad for the US dollar. Secondly, if you remember Brazil's newly elected President Lula da Silva, he met his Argentinian counterpart a week ago, and they discussed the formation of a common currency, ditching the dollar. In South America, it's called the SUR, S-U-R, South. That's the new currency they want to implement, form together. Venezuela said, I'm coming too. So there's going to be 3, and I'm assuming it's going to be more. The Americans are laughing at that, but that's not their laugh. So anyway, then you go to South Africa. South Africa just has a military, drills with China and Russia. And Russia sent its hypersonic, Kinzhal missiles over there, the new frigate, whatever, the new ship that they sent into the Atlantic. They did some little tests over there, and then they went down. They're going to have the drills with China and South Africa. South Africa said that they will not be colonized again by anybody else. That's good. Be independent as much as you can. So you already have this. You have India, who refused to impose sanctions on Russia. And, they say, well, peaceful solution. Did not condemn Russia for things, for war and all that. Then you have China, the same. Still buying Russian oil, provides revenue and gas. And they're building another gas pipeline. I think it's the Siberian something, blah, 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 the biggest, whatever. So they are expanding. They are growing. And I gave you big countries on the BRICS. And then you have the Shanghai Economic Cooperation Forum or something like that. Again, Iran wants to get in. What's the name? Turkey wants to join. Their countries, again, Iran wants to join BRICS. I think something about North Korea said. As I said, Iran. Argentina wants to join BRICS. Now we go to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, another one that kicked United States in the balls. Unfortunately, they said, well, we're going to diversify the currencies we're going to sell our oil into. So that means it's not going to be only dollars. In dollars, they're going to sell in euros, yuan, which is the Chinese currency, and others. Xi Jinping, the president of China, visited Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and they made some deals worth, I think, $16 billion, and they discussed about selling oil in yuan and do trading in their currencies, again, ditching dollar. All these are big developments, and these guys are fighting in Ukraine. Why? Because if Russia falls, everything I told you right now is going to be a little big shake-up. Because if Russia stays, over there it has the resources to fund and supply all these guys together. The Russian resources are at play right now, and the nuclear weapons, so they cannot be used, and that's it. The Russians can do whatever they want as long as they have their resources managed by certain foreign corporations, if you know, like, I don't know, Amoco or Chevron or Shell, or you know, these kind of things. So yeah, the alternative is right there, and in this case India and China are joining in big time, and little countries are waiting to see if Russia stands up and doesn't fall, because if it stands up and the second club gets like this, they will join that one, because they got kicked in the balls and in the teeth so many years by some other ones that they don't want to join that community and law rule based world order. They want these ones. Why? Because they will feel protected. That's the whole thing. These guys too many times already, and this guy is like, oh my god, he's back, he's drunk, he's got a shotgun again, oh my god. It's like you're at home and, I don't know, someone comes home, a relative, let's put it this way, is drunk and is armed. He's gonna beat mommy again, he's gonna beat me, he's gonna be shooting, he's gonna be yelling, he's gonna be drinking, he's gonna be breaking stuff. The same when these guys see these guys coming around, oh my god, these guys are in our neighborhood, oh my god, they sent some envoys in Africa, oh, South America, oh, Asia, Jesus Christ, don't look at him, don't look at him. That's how they feel, I guess. That's my interpretation of how things are ran. And you're going to see when these guys are officially going to join say this is club, I don't know, club B or something, you're going to see countries flocking over there. That's what I foresee happening. I predict that. But that's contingent to Russia not being by these guys. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.